In this video, we're going to be going over how to retrain a skill. This is a very important process that you need to have inside your own toolbox, so that you need to be aware of for numerous different reasons. There could be some inefficiencies in your training program. It could be part of rehabbing from an injury, so that way you can get back at peak performance. Or you could just be starting off and you want to make sure that you're doing stuff right. The reasons why you need to do this doesn't matter, but you need to have a process on how you learn and develop new exercises and movements. Right? So that's what we're going to be going over in this one. And we have a little cycle that we regularly put people through here that's proven to be very effective and efficient at helping them retrain for whatever reason they may need to. To start off with, we like to begin in what we refer to as a 10-second phase. The 10-second phase is based on the theory that whenever you're trying to retrain your body for any movement or exercise, after 10 seconds of stress, the body starts to revert back to what it knows. Remember, the body wants to always use the smallest muscle possible to accomplish a task. So if we're trying to retrain it to use something else, we don't want the body to be retraining under a large amount of stress. We want to be able to keep those reps nice and short, and be able to just gradually and just get as many reps in as we can with minimal stress, so that way the body can recognize the pattern or what we're trying to teach it and start to hardwire that in. Now, as much as it's important that you go through and you know exactly what you're needing to address, to break it down to the smallest possible movement or exercise that you're trying to do, it's also the movement that you have the ability to control. So break it down to your hand position on the bar, whether it be for pull-ups or deadlifts, or your foot strike whenever you're running. These are examples of breaking it down to the smallest possible unit. And then you want to be able to find some exercises that you can implement inside that 10-second program. We all want these to be done at the start of your program, preferably right after your warm-up, that you're just going to go through and try to get as many reps in as you can of whatever exercise you need to go through and learn and develop this habit of correct movement patterns. After you've been doing this for a while, and we like to tell people that they'll start to know what right is. They'll start to just feel right. Oh, that repetition was right. That one was right. Oh, that's how you correctly do it. Even if you can't do it over and over again, you don't have that ability yet. Once you know what right is, you're then ready to transition out of the 10-second phase, because you know what exercises you need to be doing, you know what right feels like, and you've been doing the repetitions under minimal stress. So now that you've got that part down, now it's time to transition from the 10-second phase into the mastery phase. During this transition time, this is where I want to cover the role of intensity in this training program as you're retraining. Intensity inside the 10-second phase is utilized to try to get one more rep in, to try to get one more. Let me try one more time. Let me get the 800th rep in. All right, try to get all those minimal stress repetitions in. As you transition from 10-second phase to the mastery phase, this is the role of intensity is the first thing that changes. Intensity now becomes resistance against me doing it. It'll maybe take the role of weight, it may take the role of time. There's numerous things that it could change into, but can you still hold what you know to be correct with stress applied? And you want to start off with stress minimal, and you want to gradually increase it over time. Our body doesn't need stress to really learn, but once it's learned something, it needs stress to hardwire it in. And that's the basic principle that we're trying to take advantage of inside this. So that stress is intensity, and we're going to apply more and more intensity. And in this phase, it is completely understandable to fail, to have some failed attempts at it, right? You know what right is, you haven't mastered it yet. And that's why you're in the mastery phase. So don't feel defeated if it's becoming more and more difficult to do. And this is where the actual hardest part of this, for all the people that we've put through it, this is where it exists at. As people are training, after they know what right is and they start to do it with more and more gradual stress, this is where it becomes the easiest to stop. They want to quit trying. They want to move on to other things, because the human brain likes to switch to other things. That's where they want to start moving away from. And this is also where generally your trainer, your coach, this is where they become pricks at, to where they say, no, you need to get this one in today. Did you get those reps in today? You got to make sure to be doing this. Whenever it's easiest to forget about the path that you've been on, that's also whenever you're the closest to finishing up the mastery part on it, right? So that discipline to try again every day, to keep working at what you've learned, that's where it gets tested at inside this mastery phase. As you move towards the end of it, this is where we like to move into the plagiarism, right? We want people to start plagiarism. As you feel that you went through this path and this process and cycle, and you start to move towards the end of it, go out and start to look up other YouTube videos or Instagram or Twitter or Snapchats or TikTok videos of other people doing it. Look up research papers based on what research and information provides you on it. Go out and start looking those up. Try to copy some of the things that you see experts doing at it. Go through and look at that, and also critique how they're doing it. Now, do that humbly. Don't be trying to point out the person in the gym and going through and tell them that they're doing wrong, but study their technique, study their doing it, because you've already gathered a wealth of information. So you should be able to go out and be able to study, because that's part of gaining expertise into whatever you're trying to learn. Once you've reached that point, that's where you move into the complexity part. All right, so we went from the 10-second or mastering the technique, right, to mastery part of it, then we move into the complexity, right? This is where you realize that the skill that you learned is part of a much bigger complex movement. The example we gave earlier was how you grasp your hands on a bar whenever you're trying to do a pull-up. It's a great and easy thing to do to work through that whole path, but the ability to do a pull-up is still a very complex exercise with a lot of movements. Now that you know how to grasp the bar and you've mastered that part, go through and find another part of the exercise, whether it be the ability to tuck your shoulders down, or to straighten and engage your core whenever you're doing a pull-up, or for your foot strike. What are the other complex movements that are involved in running that you can go back and harness? Be aware that as you master one part, your body's feel of how it's going to be able to perform in these exercises is going to change. So as you master your foot strike, there's going to be things in your arm swing that you're going to realize that are off. And you can go through and put it in the same process and go through the 10-second phase, go through the mastery phase, and then let it end up back at the complexity phase and cycle through again, and continually identify skills to cycle back through. This is going to be one of the keys that's going to help you bust through plateaus, to help you reach peak performance. Or if you have a profession that requires you to be able to develop or master skills or movements, this is how you're able to do them really quick. And this is going to be the point that I end on this. As you're able to continue to go through these phases, there's added benefits of you being able to master this process in itself and this cycle. We need to be able to learn and adapt. Our ability to overcome challenges is key to us being able to create positive growth in life. And we have to be able to recognize those challenges and develop the skills to be able to overcome those obstacles. So that way we can have that growth that occurs. You have to know how you learn best, what methods work for you. And you being able to regularly engage in this process in your training programs or mental fitness programs, or just daily lifestyle habits, this will help you understand how you learn best and help you keep looking to better develop yourself and make the best version of you that you can. My name is Benjamin Morris. I'm the founder here at Outtrain. I'm a tactical strength conditioning facilitator. I'm a drill sergeant, 10 cycles completed. I'm a military master fitness trainer and a master resilience instructor. And preceding my name anywhere I go is the title Pacific Best Warrior. And I'm going to tell them to hit the button because Best Warrior said so. Done? Done. That was one take. That was a quick.